guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Grace if you're new here, and this is the Rusty Thicket. So it's been a rainy few days here in Okinawa, some really beautiful weather in my opinion, which for me means sketching and painting. So that is what I've mostly done this whole week. My friend Rita came over and we had us a fun little sketchbook session, which I'll admit I'm not very good at. I don't do a ton of sketching. I like to find my subject matter and pretty much just go for it. But it felt really nice to open up the sketchbook and just kind of play around with some stuff, because I also typically just do micron pen and watercolor when it comes to the bulk of the things that I work on. But I really wanted to get out the Copics and play with those, and honestly they work so much like watercolor, and I forget it every time, but they do incredible on this watercolor sketch paper. I really like, this is the one that I take with me when I travel and stuff, but I really like how this paper absorbs, but also still, it doesn't feel, you know, like some watercolor paper is so textured that it's not a joy to use with markers and even just the micron pen alone. But so that was just me doing some little isopods, some little roly-polies, and I thought I would just share how small this thing is. If you haven't seen my videos about it before, I love working small, but also what we kind of accomplished in a day, which doesn't probably seem like a lot, but of course we chat and kind of, you know, used it as an opportunity to hang out. Now this did bleed through, but not to the next paper. Here are just some little froggy doodles. I love using these markers because they're so vibrant. I love that center one there. Like if I was back in the States and kind of able to purchase prints and things, I would consider doing that one. I loved using them as gradients. I think they turned out great as gradients. The blue was a little bit more difficult because I had a hard time finding the right ways to manipulate that the way that I had success with the warmer colors. And then I have just really been trying to up my floral game lately. I really love this little field of flowers that I did. I think that was going to be super cute, something I might do in the future for a sticker. Some lilac and some forget-me-nots. This little beetle is absolutely precious, and one day I will redo that. That's why sketching is so important, but it's just unfortunately a step I don't get around to very often. I really wanted to share this time lapse of the sky for you guys. We don't usually, like, sunsets are beautiful on the ocean, but we don't usually get a whole lot of clouds and weather and stuff. So when we do, the sunsets are just phenomenal. I love how it turned into blues and purples, and it got really dark really fast because there was just so much cloud coverage. But these are what we are working on today, and this is just like the finished piece of them in their trays without their resin, but we're gonna get started painting all of them. I had a really good time. This is the first time I've picked up watercolor in, besides my classes that I do at Arts and Crafts, a while. I've been mostly focusing on getting all of my acrylic stuff out of the way because I want those to have time to you know, have their sealants put on in multiple layers and all that kind of thing. But this little praying mantis turned out incredible. Sometimes I really like how things turn out and I wish I could keep them, but I mean, I have kept some of my own pieces before, that's for sure. But I had some specific requests to have more bugs, like bugs, and here in Okinawa, and I guess in Japan, like the mainland too, praying mantis are very popular. I mean, I do see quite a lot of them, but you know, you see them in the States too, and you don't really think of them as being popular, but I guess here they kind of are. Bugs in general are just very popular in Japan, and we'll get into some beetles here in a little bit. I really wanted all these greens to be very different and to stand out. These guys are very bright green here, and they can be very big, but we did run into a brown, like a straight up brown one the other day, which I thought was cool. If I'm not mistaken, this is the rhino beetle. He's a little more cutesy. I had a couple of people ask me if I did more kawaii style stuff, and typically I really don't. This is kind of more my style right here. But, you know, Halloween is coming up and Christmas is coming up, and I really wanted to try and get out a few pieces that I've specifically had people request or ask about in general. I'm hoping once I get done with some of these, I can work on some of the specific commissions people have asked me for, which includes some beetles. But I have a lot of paintings. I have at least over 100 of these that I would like to have done before my true fall season starts, but we'll see how that goes. That's just because I have that many frames that I don't really want to haul with me when we leave next year. I loved this little frog, but his eyes got away from me. They were supposed to be like the little frog slits, and I ended up just making them a little bit more cutesy. But that's okay, he still turned out really cool. And I have a sticker that's going to look a lot like this piece. Actually, drawing out this piece made me think about the sticker I wanted to do. I'll do an unboxing hopefully when I get those in, if I get them in time. Fingers crossed. And since I'm working on these little trinket trays, I just thought I would share that, you know, I do these in real resin, so they could be coasters or things for your jewelry, or whatever. And last time I did them, I did not put a sealant between it and the resin, and they did not, I guess not really fade. They sort of washed out a little bit because obviously the resin is wet. They still turned out really good, and they kind of had like a vintagey look to them because of it, but I wanted to prevent that this time, so I'm really hoping the couple of layers of sealant I put on these end up going the extra mile. I love this little guy. I saw somebody draw something very similar in an Inktober, and I thought he'd be really cute, just kind of covered in fall leaves and fall colors. And of course, you know, we can't have the holiday and the Halloween season coming up without some little ghosties. They're always a big hit. They're so fun to paint. But yeah, I'm just really anticipating fall. I'm really excited about all of the watercolors coming up, so make sure you guys are following along because we're going to be getting into quite a bit more watercolors. I have 4 or 5 more sessions before my next show, I'm hoping, to get all of these ready to go. So make sure you comment your favorite below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!